Hi everyone, it's Allie. Welcome back. Today I'm participating in the Team Tiny Interactive Hop, which is hashtag driven. So you're just going to want to click on the hashtag that I have in my description and you'll find all the creators in the hop. I am going to be making my card with the Hero Art I Seek Crafting stamp set, and then I'm also using Fawn's color slider dies. This is a very easy die set. I love interactive cards. I tend to buy the dies and then never use them. I'm a little intimidated by interactive cards, so I figured I'd start with an easy one. That was an older die set, and I found it to be very easy. I loved it. It was so much fun, so I know I will be playing a little bit more with that die set. So first I die cut all my pieces using some Bristol smooth paper, and I used my pink fresh inks for this. And I wanted to do purples, so I just grabbed out 4 of the purple colors. I wanted to do an ombre look, and I wanted the bottom to be the darkest, and then I went lightest at the top. And so I just went through a couple of times to make sure I got the blend that I wanted. And it's funny because I'm so used to blending with my hybrid or water reactive inks that when I go to my dye inks, it's just different for me, and I forget that I can't play with water or anything with them. But their inks are beautiful. I love the colors. It was perfect, just what I was looking for. So sometimes when I make a card, I have an idea in my head, which I start with, and then I start laying out my stamps to kind of see what I'm going to want where. And that's where I'll make some changes. So at first, I didn't think I was going to do a background on this card, but when I started laying out the stamps, I decided that it needed one. So I picked out a couple of the smaller stamps that were in the set, and I'm just going to randomly stamp those all over my background there. And I did use the Pink Fresh Detail ink to stamp those out. And that ink, it says it is good for alcohol coloring and watercoloring. Now, I have not tried it with those. I tend to just use it in regular stamping with their other dye inks, and it works fine for that. So I'm going to go through and make my whole pattern paper here. And I really didn't have to stamp the whole background, seeing as I'm going to be putting that color slider on top of there, but it just made it easier for me to see where I really wanted all of the images. So I just did the whole thing instead of trying to work around that square. And then once I was done with that, I just felt like it needed some other color. So I grabbed one of my colored pencils, just a white one, and I'm going to go ahead and color in those stars. And I really loved how that came out on the background. It just gave it that little added touch that I was looking for. And I thought that came out really pretty. And I'm just going to show you just that little snippet of that there. So I ink blended all of my pieces the same way. It does come with the different tabs for the top. So I did print out the tab that I selected, and I did back mine. So I glued one on the front, one on the back, just to make it a little bit sturdier. And then I colored all of my pieces with my Zig Clean Color markers. And I lost the footage for one of these. I'm so sorry, but for that, okay, so for this piece, you just stick your little tab right inside of there, and there's the little track. If you remember the dies at the beginning, I put that track, it sort of looks like a rectangular horseshoe. So that lines up right with the bottom of your little rectangle there. And then you just glue it shut, and there's a little slit at the top. Then you can pull your tab out. Now, I tried it with glue. It didn't work. So I ended up having to use score tape, which worked perfectly. So I also used score tape on the back of it, and then I did adhere it to my card base. And then I used a little foam tape on some of my pieces there just because the middle of that card then was a little bit lifted. So when I glued down my pieces, I wanted it to match, you know, and be even. So I love the little kitty in this and the beetle. They all came out so fun. I love building this card. So I used my little Altenew fine tip glue, and I switched between that and my little foam tape. And these were, I don't have the dies, these were fairly easy to cut out. I just went ahead and fussy cut them. And there you have it. I also found some ribbon in my stash from Stampin' Up, and I did tie that in that little hole on the tab just to make it easier to pull. And because I don't have the Lawn Fawn set that gives you all the little interactive words, I just went ahead and wrote it on there myself. And then that was it. It was a very easy card. So thank you for joining me today. Please click on the links and you can check out the other crafters. I also have all the links to my supplies down in my description box below. And I will catch you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.